burns, burns half as long. I'm going to be using my book, Act Like a Movie Star, a method to your process. Full disclosure, I actually booked this thing. So, but it's perfect to use as a real world example of, process of auditioning. And now it becomes a process of, scene study here. It's 4 pages. It's a USC film, and for them, this is this is their big little project. So there's no small parts, only small actors. So let's get into this. You have to know yourself. You have to own it. The Super 6 to audition success. 6 things. First, 1 is the first read. 2, find the arc. 3, relationships. 4, what's at stake. 5, dialogue and subtext. And 6, the final read and preparation. So these are the 6 steps, the stages I like to go through. Number 1 in the Super 6. 1 is the first read. Okay, so the first read is this is critical, actually. The first read. The first read is to not figure anything out story-wise. I know that might seem counterintuitive. Everyone wants to dive in and read their only parts or what's going on. Da 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 da. Stop. Forget all that. Look for no answers. Don't use your head. Get the scene and read all the words out loud and slow down. Let the words cause feelings in you and to cause you to daydream or fantasize. Allow instincts to fire and respond to only what's on the page, moment to moment. This is just key. Moment to moment, what's on the page. Don't invent stuff. Instincts fire. No judgment. I love that. Don't try to control the read or look for results. Be silly, loud, angry read, and maybe it'll hit me and I'll just play. Okay, the more you feel and fantasize first here, the greater your acting will play at the audition and for filming later, which is so true. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a first read, line by line. Just let it hit us. This is 4 pages, so here we go. All right, exterior motel room. Rachel Dawson, a 17-year-old runs to a motel room door, puts down her baseball bat, and tests the door. It's locked. She pulls out a twisted paper clip and begins to pick the door. Rachel's wearing a top jeans boots with a canvas backpack. Her hair is tied back in a ponytail. Cracks are heard from behind her alongside wet crunch noises, and shortly after, John Dawson, a tired-looking 46-year-old father with a grown-out beard and blood streak across his face where he wiped it, runs next to Rachel gripping his own baseball bat with blood on it. John is sporting a gruff beard, wearing flannel, jeans, boots, and camping backpack. A lot there. Alright? Tired looking 46-year-old. Again, I smile, but that's not about ego. There's a reason why he's tired looking. Blood streak across his face where he wiped it. He's got his baseball bat. She does too. She's picking locks. Alright. Rachel finishes picking the lock and steps aside and nods at John as she readies her bat. John puts his hand on the doorknob and counts to 3, opens the door while holding his bat near the barrel. Okay, 2, interior living room of the hotel room. A motel living room that has seen better days lays quietly. The window is plastered with newspaper to block out the sun and any prying eyes. The entire place has canned goods, medicine, and other supplies strewn about, and somebody has been using it for a hideout from the outside world. The door opens. John pokes his head in and then slowly moves into the room, crouched position, making little noise. He motions back to Rachel to follow him after. John motions at her to keep her ears alert using sign language. I'm gonna wait. I told you not to. Yeah, I gotta watch myself for jumping ahead. Nothing. It's just interesting. I'm gonna say it though. A lot of silence, a lot of quiet. Motions are using sign language. These are all little keys. Noise is heard on the other end of the room in the bathroom. John and Rachel look at each other, and John motions with military signals to move toward the bathroom. We're doing one of these, I guess. Both grip their bats tightly and head to the corner of the bathroom. Okay, so bathroom 3, interior bathroom. John moves first around the corner. John sees an old man wearing a baseball cap in the bathtub. John makes a fist, motioning to Rachel to stop her from moving. He raises his bat to strike, but realizes the old man is not moving. He pokes him with the bat on the shoulder, and then notices the antibiotic pills scattered all over the floor. He's dead from pneumonia. I don't know how he knows he's dead from pneumonia, but he's dead. He leans down and takes the man's pulse. The old man is wearing a weathered U.S. veteran cap. U.S. veteran. He is gripping the bottle that he held the pills. So he's got the pills and a framed picture of his wife. Rachel looks over John's shoulder, and John motions her that it's all clear. John closes the open eyes of the dead man. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in there. Again, though, the first 3 is not about any answers, so... Rachel moves back to the main room and to start raiding the place. John starts packing up the antibiotic pills and other things around the bathroom. Suddenly a song comes on from the radio. Rachel says, "Hey, the generator still works." John stops looking through the bathroom and panics and rushes out to the living room. Again about the sound. Panics, rushes out to the living room. Rachel notices his panic. "Shit, sorry," she says. John fumbles with the cord of the radio and plugs it. There is a sound out the window. John pulls Rachel down and looks at her angrily. Rachel looks sheepish. They both hear a snarl outside, and they look out the door and window. A silhouette of a mysterious creature is seen through the newspaper-covered window, listening for any sounds, and then it moves on. Okay, well, so we do know why, he's so, they're so concerned about sound. There's this mysterious creature in this new world, post-apocalyptic world, sound, but he moves on. John sighs and begins to pack things into his backpack. Rachel remains sitting, upset at herself and the world. Remember, she's a teen. While John is busy packing things, he notices the refrigerator. He slowly opens it and notices the only thing in there is a partially eaten slice of cake. John pulls it out and smiles softly. This, just FYI, is going to become a preset knock, and we'll get into that from another chapter. And just to let you know, preset knock is these lovely little moments that come up that have significant meaning, and you don't have time while you're shooting, while you're filming, to like work up an emotion. It's got to hit you like a ton of bricks, so you work on it separately. Okay, we'll get back to that. Circle that. All right. Smile aside. He looks around and pulls out matches and tears one off. He sticks it into the cake. He makes a little makeshift candle. John moves to sitting Rachel, holding the cake behind him, and then surprises her and presents it to her. He says, "Happy 17th, baby." Rachel's eyes light up and she sees the cake. She has not had any pastries in a year due to no refrigeration and dairy. No clues there. So it's been a year. But no refrigeration and dairy. No dairy. "Hey, you remembered," she exclamates. Rachel's joy turns to frustration. "Rachel, wait, I'm 18. John, I stammer. Shit. Rachel jokes, "I'm messing with you. Didn't think you know, being gone and all." Get back to that. Rachel takes the cake and starts to eat it, and her joy quickly turns to sadness as tears roll down her cheeks. John's smile turns to concern as he is shocked at her shifting moods. He moves close and cups her head as he tries to get her to look at him. Rachel, she's crying, sniffling, continues, "Sorry, it's just last year, Mom and I, ... John awkwardly puts a hand around her shoulder and then pulls her in for a hug. He is Not particularly good at emotional moments, but he is making an effort. John, you remind me more of Lisa every day, he says. Lisa is the mother, obviously. Interesting that he calls her Lisa. Rachel is comforted by these words, and after a few moments, Rachel lightly pushes John back as she wipes away her tears, uncomfortable with the moment of affection she was given. Okay, that's enough. I'm fine, she says. Oh, bitch. I'm teasing. John smiles awkwardly, gives her a few pats on the shoulder as he moves past her and starts packing up more supplies. Rachel continues to pack while cleaning herself up. After both finish, they move toward the door, holding their bats. John wraps his hand tightly around the door handle. John's endearingly looks at his daughter. Goes from that to stern stare. John, ready? And by the way, it's a question. We're gonna get into that. It's called questions and answers. Another little thing that we got to get into. Rachel nods and he grips the bat closer to her head. John nods and opens the door and they both rush out into the dangerous world. Okay, so that's that's the short we're dealing with. So, all right, let's kind of break it down a little quicker now. So, that was the first read. So, you kind of just let things. My bad. I jumped around a little bit, but here we go. After the first pure read, now start using the act like a movie star techniques. Here we go. And we're going to get back to the big three. The actor mantra, what's happening to whom and how do I feel about it, and the emotional bridge which connects us. That first read, it hits us. So just letting us in. We know this world now. Okay, so let's find the arc. I love this thing. This is the second thing. Find the arc. The arc. The start of the scene must be polar opposite of the end of the scene. This thing is a little different in that it's 4 pages. They're really it's connected scenes. It's all one big scene in a way. And is it polar opposite? Well, it is until the very end. It could flip back. You know what I mean? Because this is ongoing. So, and what do I mean by that? Obviously, let's quickly look at this. So, she, the girl, Rachel, my daughter, they're rushing to a door. She's trying to pick the lock. There's noises. Boom. Well, who is it though? It's her father, me. They both have bats. He's got blood. So definitely, this is the dark, grim thing. It's dark. It's how you do the art. It's polar opposite. So call that a minus. It's got nothing to really do with if it's better. It's just minus. That's where it's at. And so where would the arc be? Obviously, within that scene. Remember the birthday cake. It's a moment they share. They share a nice moment together. So that's the arc. So it goes from grim, horrible, nothing's happening. They're desperate to get in this thing, get out of get outside and inside, to having this moment, having this connection, and then with that newfound kind of love, really, boom, together they're a team, and they get back out into the world. It's also very interesting that in a way, like, she's alone, you see her alone, it's symbolic, but then together, they leave. So that's also part of this arc. I just love that. But and traditionally, how kind of the art works, let's say you'll have one scene, for an audition or something like that, and you just kind of sometimes you just go to the end of it. Whatever happens at the end, go back to the beginning, and that's how you can find how it starts. At the end of a scene, if you're yelling and screaming, "I hate you," then in the beginning, it's "I love you," and that kind of thing. And a good writer, good writing, it'll be in there. Sometimes it's subtle though, and if it's not in there, if it, rather than judge it, which is professional mindset, never judge it. Put it in there. That's your job as an actor. All right, so that's finding the arc. Three. So that was number two. Number three of the Super Six is the relationships. To me, relationships are everything. It's when I auditioned for this piece, I actually probably could have done a better job at feeling the moment of the room. Let's say there was a dead body. Like, I didn't play maybe the stench of the dead body or anything like that. What I kind of focused on was, especially, I don't know, there's a lot of action, a lot of movement. You kind of, the director is gonna want to have his say in there. So I don't know. I played up more of the relationship and that arc, and it worked. But all right, so the relationships. Obviously, what are relationships here? As we read this thing, daughter, it's been a year. Obviously, she said, you haven't been around. She messed with me on her how old she was. I was right, but but I questioned myself because maybe I was wrong. That means I wasn't there. Bad father, not a good guy, I guess. Or I gotta find. We'll get to that, but so that's that. So that's the biggest. That's a relationship. This is my daughter. That's the key, and also relationship to also what's going on, time and space, everything like that. It's this new apocalyptic world. It's my relationship to that. These are all fantasies that I'll play in more as we get deeper into this. That means even relationship to the room, but most important is with my daughter. That's the key. The Super Six, number 4. What's at stake? As important as anything else, you must know what's at stake in the scene. What's at stake? What matters most to your character? Simply said, is the emotion or energy needed for the actor about what is happening. Stakes equals the most. Be an expert. So have a strong point of view. This is where characters like hero and warrior, good man on the rise, due to the problem, reign supreme. Okay, well, hey, like I have a little thing in here. It's like Tom Cruise plays everything with stakes. Life and death. That's what stakes are. It's big type stuff. Daniel Day-Lewis is a man. Hey, Daniel Day-Lewis, love him. Master at stakes. Most. So what's at stake here? Obviously, their lives. They're hiding from some mysterious beast. Can't make sounds. So I mean, and on a personal note, what's at stake is the relationship with his daughter. Okay, so the Super Six, number 5, subtext and dialogue. Since there really isn't tons of dialogue, still there's a lot of subtext to it. It doesn't really matter if there's not a lot. The best stuff goes unsaid anyhow. And your job as the actor is not to tell a story anyhow. So what we're talking about is here subtext. Happy 17th, baby. And she says, "Oh, you remembered," and she's excited. And she says, "Wait, I'm 18." She says she wants to get a little dig in here, and it causes me to stammer. Shit, I mess up. Did I mess this up? And she says, "I'm messing with you. Didn't think you'd know. Being gone and all." Those are very pointed. She's hurt. She's upset with me. That's we're not father and daughter right now. Not emotionally speaking. She starts crying. She's just over everything. She's just lashing out on him. Sorry, she says. She does say sorry. It's just last year, Mom and I. And she's hurting. So I reach out to her. You remind me more of Lisa every day. That's his whole relationship with her mom. She's growing up. Like everything he loved about the mother, he sees in her. And she says, "Okay, that's enough. I'm fine." She's not ready for that yet. I mean, she's opening up to him, but it's not quite there. John smiles awkwardly, so at least, he's getting closer. Again, and this is where we talked about the arc. Go from not being connected, not father and daughter, to that, they made a connection. She's not ready yet, but she's open to him. And he even says, "Ready?" It's kind of nice. She nods. They're together. They're a team. That's lovely.